Have our race control laptop set up, just recording the desktop here. What you hear me doing right now is plugging my phone in, and I'm going into my menus and I'm activating the USB tethering feature. So that's going to let us see configuration as we go here. Alright, so what I do, or that's the first thing I do when I start setting up race control, get my cell phone plugged in, get that hotspot, the tethering going. That way I'm able to start pulling pilots down and making sure everything is ready to go for the race. So I come the first spot I'm going to set up the laptop at the field. After we've plugged in to talk to the internet, I go to the GLINet admin tab. Just the desktop shortcut brings me to this IP address. Here we see the device name. It does take a moment or two to boot, so if I don't see it immediately, just give it some time, run the timer out into the field, and get that booting as well. Anyways, log in, and we see that we are still in repeater mode since I am on the home network, but we should also see here in tethering, that my phone is connecting. We'll see if I have enough cell service here to connect. Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't really matter. But this is going to be, we want to see this turn green. Give it a refresh. It might have turned in. No, not quite yet. That's fine. Regardless, this will show up as blue, and that's going to show a blue line coming up over and in to our GLINet device. And then that's telling me we have internet coming into the race control system. But on the other side here, we see we have one LAN client. When we have the timer plugged in, we're going to have two LAN clients. And the way that we set the device up to see that, down here at Ethernet, it'll say, or we've set this for WAN port to be used as LAN. That just puts everything on the same network, so we're using it as a switch instead of using the device to bring internet in through an Ethernet cable. We're just using it, timer in, laptop in, everything's on the same network. So that's something you do on first time configuration, and it will remember for the rest of it. The other thing, so once we're in here, verify that the timer has come up. Right now we see Race Control Lappy, which is the laptop I'm using right now to record the video. We've got our IP address set, MAC address, whatever, but we also have the rotor hazard timer. This is going to be in online clients once it is in fact online. I don't have it plugged in right now just because the fan's a little loud, and I don't want that to be heard in the background of the video just yet. You'll see that I have the IP address. That is going to be a static IP address I set based on the Raspberry Pi in the timer on the Raspberry Pi's MAC address. The way I do that is I come down to Network, and I come down to LAN. I scroll down and I see my MAC address, my IP, and description. So what I did here was I hit the Add button. I took the MAC address that was being reported by the Raspberry Pi, and I set it to this static IP of 192.168.8.187. And then if I ever wanted to change that, I have my MAC address set. I can rename it whatever I want to, and that's where I'd set the IP address. Very, very simple, very straightforward. And then once I'm ready to go into the timer, I click my shortcut, or I could hit the desktop shortcut. Both bring me to the exact same place. The only difference here is it's not connected, so it's not actually going to launch the timer. But you can see here I have it set to that same 192.168.8.187 address, and the / settings brings me to the timer settings, so I can do the admin stuff from there. Again, it's not plugged in, so you can't see it. I'm going to pause the video real quick, and we'll fire up trackside. Actually, I have fired up trackside, and you can see I have all these events in here. What we do to get to the events is we hit login to FPV Trackside. So you're going to get an authorization key when you log up or sign up with the club membership tier on the FPV Trackside Patreon. Very important you don't share that key with anyone. The FPV Trackside devs have done a great job to make sure you can't see it when I do this video tutorial. And you're also going to go to the MultiGP website and get your chapter API key. I will show you both of those, or how to get to the MultiGP tab right now. Just hop over to the NEPA Quad Racers. We're going to sign in real quick. Yep. Remember all my info. New chapter organizers, or if you need to get your timing system set up first time, or you're setting up a new timing system or a new laptop, or just had to completely reinstall, you just go to your chapter page, you come up to manage, timing system key, and you're going to copy to clipboard. I'm not going to show my key for obvious reasons, but that's where you copy it, come down to login to MultiGP. This is going to be blank. Paste it, log in, and you'll be all set. So depending on your version of Trackside, you can either click download, and it's going to pull all the events. Oh, perfect. This is what I was looking for. So it's going to show you all the events that you have available in your MultiGP that have been scheduled. As you can see, we've got the GQ before I/O. Well, that was June 7th, so we don't need to pull that. These two events, these are the same event. One's on Trackside, one's on MultiGP. We don't need to pull those down. The Asher's Chocolate Race we have later in September. Okay, that's already pulled. We've got NEPA Quad Racer Big Daddy. That was our Father's Day weekend race, but we don't need that. I'm actually going to pull one of these to be able to show what we're looking for in the new race. Anyways, pre-Melon Fest, our regional qualifier event, our second GQ of the season, the regional final event in Stars and Stripes and Quads. We're going to pull this as our example, so it's going to sync down this event, download profile pictures. Yes, it's an old race, but that's quite alright. Please pardon the noise. We're plugging in our event VRX. Hopefully that's not too loud. I'm going to talk a little bit louder, and I do apologize for the background fans, but we have our events pulled down. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come here. We're going to go to video input settings, and we're going to see right here, we're going to add a device. We're going to find our USB capture card. Since I've already added it, I'm not going to do it again. But that's going to show up as a single video instead of one. What we do to fix that is we go to 2x2, and then it's going to split the video input into 4 quadrants. In order to set the channel that the video's expecting to see on that quadrant, we click once and we go to channel assignment, and we go to event channels. And that's going to show all the event channels that we're using in Trackside. We'll get to that in just a moment. In any case, we just set it to 1. Or we set input 1 or quadrant 1 as race band 1, quadrant 3 or quadrant 2, race band 2, and so on and so forth. And all these can be reset or configured however you want, just using the event VRX and going through the menus. This is why when I was doing the wiring overview earlier, I had those HDMI cables labeled. That way I can just kind of track mentally, like, all right, HDMI cable 1 is going to be on the event VRX race 1, so set the first available channel to the first HDMI output to this first quadrant, and second HDMI cable is second quadrant, third is the third, fourth is the fourth. And then if I ever have to change channels because we're having interference, all I have to do is go to that quadrant and make that adjustment. The other thing we want to make sure, any USB port, especially for switching the laptop or you're using your daily driver laptop or you have to make configurations, set to any USB port. That way it doesn't matter what you plug the capture card into. Video mode doesn't matter, flipped, mirrored, unless something weird's going on with your system. You shouldn't have to do this. Stop feed when not in use. It's not going to look for the feed when it's not in use. It's not going to run. It's not going to run in the background, take up computer resources. Hardware acceleration, enable that. That's just going to help things run a little more smoothly. I'm going to unplug this VRX real quick, and you see all 4 channels just went offline. Exactly what we're looking for. Channel crop percent, I've never had to mess with this. Default settings are fine. This button right here, record for video replays, that's where the magic happens. That's where we're able to see the DVR playback, whether it's for, oh wow, that was so cool, I want to see that again. If we're looking at how the race wound up running, who finished, was there a gate missed, this button right here is how we go back, or how we enable the ability to go back and watch that instant replay. Video record resolution, 480 is fine. We're not operating on huge prize purses or anything crazy like that, so 480 is absolutely fine. Record frame rate, 30 is fine. It leaves a lot of overhead for the in case something weird happens on the computer, or the computer needs or is running an update in the background. I've never had an issue where it's like, oh man, I wish I had 60 frames or 240 frames. Device latency, I've left that at 0. I haven't had any issues with that. Anyways, we're going to go ahead, click OK. So if it's your first time setup, it might refresh the whole window, it might not. Next thing we come down to is channel settings. This is where you set the channels that your trackside is going to be looking for. In our case, we only use 4 channels, race 1, 3, 6, 8. If I need to change a channel, or add a channel, excuse me, we come down, we hit add, we come up to race band, and then we can add any of the race band channels in. So pilot shows up, oh no guys, I'm sorry, I'm stuck on race 4, I can't do anything to get off it. Okay, it's a little frustrating, a little annoying, but especially at our chapter, we fly the fling what you bring mentality. If you bring it, we'll do everything in our power to make sure you can fly at least one heat with at least one other pilot. Add race band 4 in, and now we have 5 channels we're able to use. I'm going to go and remove that just because we don't need to, I don't want to change too much of our back end. But same thing, you add your channels here. Normally, that race band sweep is absolutely fine to use. This is kind of a legacy when we were using SharkBite when HD0 wasn't fully synced to the race band channels. HD0 race, same thing. The only thing that we sometimes have to add in is DJI 04, or not DJI 04, because that follows the same race band, but we have to sometimes add DJI 03 in, where the 03 air unit had some weird channel ordering. This is where you'd adjust that and add it in. In general, we're able to use, oh boy, I don't remember, but we're able to use one of these DJI channels, and it's about the same as Race Band 8. We don't have a Cosmos streamer to pull that DVR in, but again, we don't have too many DJI pilots show up, and so it doesn't really matter that we can't see what they're seeing. Same thing for Walksnail. We have the ability to add Walksnail in. It uses the same race band. No, we don't use low band up at Hillside Park, and then these are just there because these are kind of legacy channel or channel bands. So we're going to go ahead, hit OK. Now we see here, here's our event name that was pulled down from MultiGP. Here's the start date. Obviously in the past we had 13 pilots registered. Channels that will usually populate. If we look at one of our future events, we do have our 4 channels, 1, 3, 6, 8, ready to roll here. Laps, so this is for when we're running race mode or running our races. It's going to take our top 3 consecutive laps. This is a feature you can set in trackside here. Personal best laps, highlight laps. We only want to we fly fast. We want to see what our personal 1 lap best time was. Race length, that's 120 seconds, so 2 minutes. That's kind of standard for MultiGP. You got your fastest 3 consecutive laps in a 2-minute window. Most races are going to use that. Some of the indoor tiny loop races, you're going to have to set shorter lap or less laps or more laps. Doesn't really matter. Pack limit, that comes in where you're using ZippyQ or FPV Trackside's built-in window, built-in QR code scanning system. The only one you might wind up changing here is the race start. So that's setting the absolute minimum amount of time it's going to play the start tone and the maximum amount of time the start tone is going to play in. Your minimum delay, we have it set to half a second, and the maximum is 5 seconds. You'll hear us say on the tone in less than 5, and then a random number generator is going to pull that tone. Track layout, primary timing system location is going to be whole shot. That means that we have set the timer up in that first gate, the start finish gate. Race start ignore detections. That one's kind of important. If we have a whole shot really close to where we're starting from, we're going to want to lower this threshold. And that's just saying, hey, in the first half second, we're not going to accept any timer, any crossings. If there was a crossing, it's probably because someone's VTX was turned on right as they armed, and there was a power spike. This is just helping reduce some of those false detections. Smart minimum lap time. This one can be changed here, and I'll show you where you can change it in another spot as well. But usually I like to set this to 12 seconds. Fast pilots, especially when we have guys come in like Neon, Blasta, we think, oh yeah, all right, no one could possibly fly this track in less than 12 seconds. One of these guys shows up and okay, gotta lower this threshold lower so that we don't miss any laps. Final 3 things here. Club name, just verify that matches your club name when you're logged in with Trackside. That way it's going to give your club the right credit for the event. Visible on Trackside, you can leave that enabled or disabled, that's entirely up to you. And sync with FPV Trackside, that's the other one you want to... These 2 are optional. I like putting them or enabling them. That way pilots can go to the FPV Trackside website and see how they did on individual events. In any case, I'm going to pause the video here, and next thing we're going to do is open an event. Alright, so we've gone down here, we've clicked open event. It's going to load our theme, even though it's already loaded. It's going to initialize our UI, and we're going to find this screen. There's a lot of stuff to go through on Trackside, but I'm going to keep it short, keep it just to the bare minimum that you need to set up a race. So first thing people are going to start asking, hey, what channel am I on? If you're using ZippyQ, doesn't matter. You can be on whatever channel you want, going through the ZippyQ tab. If you're not using ZippyQ, you set your pilot's channels. You see here we have Caveman, Elevated Vision, and so on and so forth. I'm going to use myself, Maya and Hawk. So we just come over here, click that, And now we have the ability to say, all right, Mayan Hawk, you're going to be on race 3, 6, 8, whatever. So we come down. Once we have all our channels set, you can also do this on multi-GP. In any case, you come over here to channel list. That's going to show all the pilots and what channels they're on. So when people inevitably come up and ask, hey, what channel am I on? Couple clicks, I can either hit the right arrow and see the channel list and just be kind of hunt through here, or I can just come over to channel list and leave this up as I go. And pilots, I've told pilots, hey, just walk by the screen and take a look if you're curious. I'll make a couple announcements on the microphone as well. All right, next thing we do, we're going to use slow-mo as the example here. Excuse me. So we're going to use slow-mo here as the example. We're going to edit pilot, and you don't need to do this for every pilot. You don't need to do this for every race. But actually, we'll come over to Mayan Hawk here. Let's see. Multi-GP ID. That's going to be the pilot's ID. Show you real quick what I mean by that. Multi-GP, especially when you're using ZippyQ, every single pilot has a unique number assigned to them. In my case, I'm 22301, and when we have a current race, not something that's in the past like this one, it's going to show 23 or whatever number I just said, 22301. Velocidrone ID, video mirrored, video flipped, practice pilot. This stuff doesn't matter. I've never had to use that. Lap RF setting doesn't matter. We're not using the lap RF. Here, sometimes, this is what I was talking about with slow-mo. Sometimes the phonetic, or the way text-to-speech reads out, this one, it would normally read out slow-mo. That's not his name. It's slow-mo, like you're moving in slow-mo. So you just got to type out phonetically right here. It's a little bit of trial and error. If you like spelling, grammar, phonics, this is where those classes finally come into play here. Phonetically spell out the name. So now we have slow-mo. Typhus. Typhus is almost great pilot. His name almost always reads wrong. So when we so for this example, TIEFUS is how his name is pronounced. And real quick, we'll hit the speak.
Typhus.
There we go. Now that's reading correctly. And then once we make that change, just go ahead, hit OK, and every time he's up on the line, it's going to call his name out correctly. So you saw when I clicked on Slow-Mo's name, it popped him here into race 1-2, race round 1, heat 1, race 1. If it does show up weird like this, where it's race 1-2, all you gotta do.
Next up, round 1, race 2. Slow-mo on R1.
Yep. Sorry about that. What we do to fix that, we come up to edit race, click that once, race number 1, and we're all set to go in here. Now we're race 1.1. So we obviously clicked slow-mo. He got popped into this race, but the other way you can do this, you just click and drag a pilot. You click on it. You can click and drag. You can click on a pilot's name. We're gonna throw Prospect Running Lizard. There we go. Look at that. It's pulling my trackside profile pic, and it's going to show our pre-race screen here. We're going to see no video on anyone's channel, but you'll notice I have my profile pic here. Well, that's great. I can see who's on this channel, but I want to see their video. All you do if you do that, click their name. It's going to make my logos or my profile picture small, and then I have a full screen or full quadrant of my actual video. I do have the event VRX unplugged. When it's plugged in, it's going to show gray. and it's going to have no video on this channel, obviously, because it's not I don't have a quad plugged in. But in order to, we're here, we're ready to race. I'm going to hit do the countdown. The cadence I usually follow is I have everyone go out to the line, plug in, call out, hey everyone, turn on your video. I wait for all these channels to populate with video, and then I'll make a call out. Pilots, do we have any objections? Wait a moment. I'll call out, no objections heard. Pilots, on the tone. I'll hit the spacebar.
Stand down and disarm. Timing system failure.
Oops.
Please notify your nearest race director.
I don't have my timer plugged in, but you can see here we're the capture car is recording. We're ready to go. I'm going to override this and click start again.
Stand down and disarm.
Can't do that.
Timing system failure.
Alrighty, what I've done here is just really quick added the dummy timer in here, so it's going to generate false or fake laps. And our rotor hazard is still disconnected. I just have that as a split timer, so it doesn't matter. It's a little bit into the weeds. Regardless, any objections? None heard.
Arm your quads. Starting on the tone in less than 5.
It's going to wait a few seconds. And we are off to the races. This is dummy timer is going to do its thing. Everyone's out because there's no video detected. And if that does happen, all you have to do, and somebody, if that does happen and somebody does have video, you can just bring back those pilots by pressing the up arrow on your keyboard. And that's going to bring everybody up. So let's say we're flying, I crash, I want to clear this screen up. I have crashed out, and it will automatically reorganize the pilots and start setting laps, or just show lap times. Dummy timer is being a little slow, but what you can do here on this page here, you can right click and you can hit add lap now.
Full shot Pro Running Lizard 52.38.
So you can manually edit laps. You can
60 seconds remaining.
You can add another
Pro
lap
Running
there.
Lizard lap 1 in first. Pro Running Lizard lap 2 in first.
So I've set this up. Oh no, the timer had a misread. It double counted. All you need to do is hold down the control key and click that button click once on that time, and it will get rid of the false read. So we're going to stop this, we're going to stop this round.
Race over.
And now this is your post-race screen. From here, you can go ahead, clone last round. You can see how your pilots finished. Along the top here, you see their whole shot time, their lap times. It's going to show your personal best time. If you need to go back and review the DVR, click replay, and you can go in here, drag that time. You'll see their video being replayed in real time. You can come in here, you can go edit laps, and now you can manually edit laps, add laps. Let's just say in this example, Liz flew 12 second flat. So there we go. We've added that lap in. Something like another thing we can do from this page. Let's add a 30-second lap. Great. Well, we happen to know that Liz flew 2 laps in that time. It misread her. We can click this, and we can, if we don't have the video replay, or we're just trying to make some quick on-the-fly adjustments, go ahead and click split lap into, and then we can tell it, hey, just use your approximation. Now we have 2 flat 15-second laps.
Pro Running Lizard lap 2 in first.
And there we go.
Pro Running Lizard finished in first.
It'll make the adjustments. It will call out the adjusted times. It's hard to beat how easy it is. Alrighty, other things that are important to mention on this: lap records. It will show you obviously the lap records, whole shot record, fastest 1 lap time, fastest 3 lap time, and your total race time. If you want to sort by this, all you got to do is click on the top. It'll sort lowest to highest position. It will also show you what position you're in based on finishing order. 1 lap, 3 lap, whatever. Lap count, kind of getting into the weeds a little here again, just to see who has the most laps in the entire event. Never really had to use this page, but it exists, and it's worth mentioning. Points, you can assign points per race. We've never done that at NEPA Quad Racers. We haven't really had the need to, but again, page exists if you need to use it. We'll go back to the live page real quick here. Race is finished. We've made any adjustments to time, either using individual laps. We can right click on this bottom bar and add lap time, manually enter them that way, or we can do the edit laps like I mentioned. Press cancel. Ready to move on. We're ready. We have, let's see here. We know that these 4 pilots, they're going up again on their same race. So we can just hit clone last round. It's going to generate round number 2, race number 1. And here we go. We've got Slow-Mo race 1, Mayan Hawk race 3, Pro Spec Running Lizard on race 6, and Caveman on race 8. We click that, and it's going to do the timer callouts, all the stuff we went through once already in a couple moments ago. I'm going to click this real quick, mute the laptop, and I'll show you one more feature that's important. So here we are, where we're calling out the channels. We see that's me, that's Running Lizard, it's calling out the channels, whatever. I'm going to hit start. If you ever need to, you have the emergency stop button here. But we're waiting. There's the tone. We want someone new shows up. Someone had to make a change to their laptop or to their quad. They don't know what channel they're on. They need to change channels. There's a couple ways you can do that. I like pressing the left arrow key, I like pressing the F1 key, and that brings me out of the race page and shows me all the menus on top again. Another page I like to use is the F6 key, and that's going to show me current standings, current race setup. Then I'm making that side menu appear with the right and left arrow key. You can map your function keys to different modes. F3 will bring you back to the live screen. Let me think. Yeah, some of these only work if you have external cameras connected. Doesn't really matter on account that we don't have those set up. One last thing. This is where you can add heats, and when you're running a race, you can exit the live screen. And you see that it took that away, so I hit my F1 key. Then I come over to rounds. This is where I can start adding races, modifying heats as we go while people are in the sky without having to stop the race and make adjustments. Let's see here. One final thing I want to show you is how we set the timer up to be used as the primary timer, and just add a timer in the first place. So I'm going to go hit F2 key. We're back in the race screen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The race is over. Wait for pilots to finish their round or finish flying. This time will keep going. Alright, everyone's landed, and the race is over. If for whatever reason you need to change how fast or how long your races are, you can set the number of laps here. We're going to real quick, because I just remembered this part, clone last round. We're going to start go into that next round. We want to change how long the race is. We set remaining, and we can change how long the laps are, or how long people are expected to be in the air. I'm going to pause the video one more time here, and when it resumes, we're going to start talking about what this sidebar actually means and set that timer up. Okie dokie, here we go. So here's the sidebar. We have right now draw, that's telling us how fast trackside's drawing the window. 60 Hertz is more than enough. That's playing this one, we're playing tones. If I need to mute race sounds because I'm doing configuration, click the little speaker icon, turn it on and off. Text to speech, if I don't want to hear the laptop calling or the speaker calling out names because I need to make modifications, same thing. Mute, unmute. Here we see our timers and their status, and we have our video system. If for whatever reason something goes wrong with the video system, we can just click the little camera icon and repair USB capture. So we're going to click our hamburger menu here. We're going to come down to timing settings. This is the important thing that I meant to mention a little earlier. But we see here we have our dummy timer. I'm going to remove that, show you how to add it first. So we hit add, and this is where you see all your different timers that you can add. Your rotor hazard version 4.0 plus, I've renamed it to new rotor hazard settings up here on the left. The Chorus 32, the video marker timing, you can use QR codes. Velocidrone has the API plugin. The Immersion RC Lap RF Puck, if you can find one of those, this is how you add it. Or the Immersion RC Lap RF. I'm going to click the Lap RF 8-way just to show you what that menu looks like. So here we go. We have this coming in. This is where we set the timer's IP address. The port is automatically configured for the Immersion Lap. The port is automatically configured for the Immersion RC Lap RF 8-way timer. You can set your gain thresholds for that timer using standard 5-inch for outdoor, or your indoor whoop for indoor whoop racing. Voltage alarm, if you have it powered by a battery, you can set that to whatever value you want, so you don't kill whatever field battery you're using for the charger. Receiver gains, if you have to make any adjustments here, and then always enabling your receivers and ignoring stuff. I haven't ever had to use those buttons. Anyways, we don't use this, or we don't use the Immersion RC Lap RF, but you can also set here if we want it to be the primary or split timer. Since we're adding it as a secondary timer, it automatically made itself a split. So I'm going to remove that. And here we are. So adding the nuclear hazard timer, we're going to make sure this is set to primary. So it's going to be our primary timer at start finish. The network, this is what we set with the GLI net, the static IP address 192.168.8.187. It is set up to use port 5000. That is a default setting on the Raspberry Pi using the nuclear hazard firmware right there. Voltage warning, same thing. If we're using a field battery directly plugged into the timer, we use a 12-volt voltage regulator and a massive 6S battery, so that'll run all day. We don't actually pay attention to this. It's here. Temperature warning. If it exceeds 80 degrees Celsius out at the timer, baking in the sun, it'll give me a warning. This button right here, sync pilot names. This is the second most important thing you have to do when you're using a nuclear hazard timer. I'll show you the number one most important thing when we get to that part of the video. But we want to make sure that sync pilot names is enabled. Once we've got all that set, press OK. And now we're ready to rock and roll. We have the FPV ready. We have the rotor hazard still disconnected. But
timing system disconnected.
Yep, I know. Here it's going to show rotor hazard timer is in fact disconnected. when it is connected, it's going to show the current battery voltage on this line. So we're all set. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to plug in the nuclear hazard timer, and we'll get into that part of this video. Alrighty, so here we are. We have our timer box. This is going to be the first half of this video. Inside we have our nuclear hazard station. I'm going to use I always try to keep an Ethernet cable in the box just in case I need to make some last minute adjustments. In here I have backup SD cards of the timer just in case something gets corrupted in the middle of the day, as well as one is done, someone keeps ramming into the timer, there's power spikes, something weird is happening, we have extra SD cards. I actually got to put some of these back in my other kit. I'm going to peel this back just a little bit here. So in here we've got Ethernet cable coming, that goes to race command. It's not ruggedized in the sense that the timer can get wet because we've drilled some holes in this, but I do try and keep some of the dew, some of the dust out to the best I can. So we have a little rubber grommet cover there. I'm gonna get this side ready to go. The reason we have then we have two inputs on the side here with little green caps on them. XT90 on the one side and XT30 on XT60 on the other side. Both of these come and go into a 12S input, or up to 12S input. So I made a little note here too. I can put up to 55 volts DC voltage in, and no matter what, it's going to be putting out 12 volts. Only plug one of these ports in at a time, just for safety, so you don't have the BEC trying to run a balancing program. Anyways, it's whatever voltage up to 55 volts in, and then I have it 12 volts out into our timer. So I'm gonna plop this back in here. We don't need to make this as bulletproof and resistant as we did. We just want to make sure that it's impact resistant. So we close our box up. We're going to use a gold line battery, just a 3S lithium ion. Nothing too fancy about it. Hear the double beep. The fan is turned on. So we're just waiting to hear a second set of beeps from this as it boots. We're going to come down here, unscrew our port, and plug in. Now we're ready to rock and roll over here at the timer. Alright, so we are now back at our GLInet portal. I just finished plugging the timer in. I heard a second set of beeps, so it was the initial set. And then after a couple minutes, you're going to hear a second set of beeps, just beep beep, and we're ready to verify that we see the timer. It's still connecting on tethering, that doesn't matter. But like I mentioned, now we have two LAN clients. Click that, and now we see rotor hazard is been assigned its static IP address, and we are communicating to it. So we're going to come over here, open a new tab. I have this set, like I said. It's asking me to sign in because I'm going into the admin portal, nuclear hazard, and I have my password set. I'm going to hit sign in, and here we are. We are ready to rock and roll in the timer. A lot of this is kind of getting into the weeds, but this is just a introduction video. If you want more info on one of these, just reach out to me in the comments or on a Discord message. I'll do my best to help explain it. We want to come down to, we're going to come up to settings. We're going to come down to plugins. We're going to, when you're doing the first time setup, you're going to click Browse Community Plugins, and you're going to look for Event, I think it's event management, yes. You're going to look for the FPV trackside connector. You're going to go ahead, install that, run through the wizards that it asks you to, and then you're going to, once it finishes installing, you're going to come down to plugins, and you're going to see that the FPV trackside connector is enabled. This is, again, this is the most important thing you have to do. It's going to make sure the timer is talking to trackside, trackside's talking to the timer. This is where you sync your pilot names and your individual pilot thresholds. Next thing we do, we go back to trackside, and here we go. I mentioned this in the other video. We're at, or a little bit earlier, we have the timer online, rotor hazard, it's white, not red anymore. We have the current temperature, and I think it'll start showing battery voltage as well there. It'll kind of cycle between temperature and battery. In any case, we have the timer all set up, ready to rock and roll. When we start running races, we're just going to go to the run screen, and here it's going to show us everything that trackside's doing. This is where we adjust the thresholds for the pilots. We take the yellow bar, bring that to above the noise floor. In this case, no one's turned on. Give me a second here. I'm going to plug a drone in so you can see some. Oh, I might regret that. That should be on race 1. And pause. Alright, so we got that little noise out of the way, but this is where you adjust thresholds. We're going to make this real quick and dirty. Drag this red bar up. That's the actual crossing bar. And then this, it has to be raised above the noise floor. So that's the noise floor. And that's a lap right there. Like I said, it's a little bit of science. Anyways, here we are. This is going to tell us when we have 1 lap, 2 laps. There's going to be a little spike as we cross the timer, and then it's going to drop down to nothing. So that would be a lap, that would be a lap, and so on and so forth. But effectively, that's it. If we need to go back and make any changes, again, here we just drag these bars to adjust the timer thresholds. Some pilots have different VTXs that are better than others. Oh, here's a VTX I've been running for the past 4 years. It outputs weird, but it still outputs about 25 milliwatts. Versus, oh, this is a brand new out of the box HD0 Race V3 VTX, and it's perfect every single time. But that pilot switches between their drones. They're using the old one and the new one. You can make adjustments in this screen. If you have to make an adjustment because of missed lap, just go ahead, click Marshal, and I'm going to come up to Format and actually import an old event, just so we can see some data. We're going to restore this. Yep, that's fine. Data restore in progress. I truthfully don't remember what event I just pulled up, but we're going to go ahead, hit Marshal, and here we can see all the rounds we've run. So let's just arbitrarily Heat 4, Race 3, Round 1, or Round 3, Race 1. Here we go. I can see that I flew this race, and this is what I was talking about with those thresholds. We actually have some data we can go through. So let's just say right there, it didn't pick up my whole shot. So all I need to do is drag this down, capture that whole shot. We see this go green. We have all these that's a lap, whole shot. That's a lap. That's a lap. That's a lap. And we have these two. Oh wait, that's not right. That's gonna highlight that as a 14-second lap. nobody flew a 4.514 second lap. Go ahead and disqualify that. Now we have all the laps. It's ready to go. We hit commit changes. I'm not going to do it here, but that'll send the correct lap data over to the trackside and update the pilot. Update the pilot's times on trackside so you don't have to keep bouncing between windows. And I think that's it. End of the day, you come down to format, you go to event, you're going to hit archive new event, races, you're going to go items to clear, races, heats, classes, pilots, and hit archive event. Since I already have this archived, I'm going to hit clear data only because I have them all backed up already. You'll also set your minimum lap time in here, just kind of good practice. Make sure that it matches what you have set up in trackside. And when you're done for the day, you're going to come down to settings, come over to system, and we're going to hit shutdown. Make sure that we're ready to actually shut the timer down, and this is just making sure we don't do a cold power pull on the timer and possibly corrupt the firmware. You'll hear some beeps in the background as the timer is telling us, hey, I'm shutting down. That long beep, we're good to start pulling power and breaking down the race.
Timing system disconnected.
And we are offline. And that's it. Like I said, if you have any questions, anything you want me to go into more detail, just drop a comment in the section down below. Hit me up on Discord, text me, doesn't matter. I'll do my best to answer whatever questions you have. One of the beauties of the trackside and rotor hazard projects, they are open source. They have very active Discord servers. If you're stuck in a bind, just reach out on one of those servers as well. Community on there will make sure that you get what you need so you can continue running your races or get yourself set up to run your first race. As always, this is kind of a learning process. Even for me, I've been doing this 3 years as a race director. There's always something new I pick up. There's always a new technique I pick up, and I'm learning this same way you guys are. It's a lot of trial and error. But end of the day, it's all about making sure pilots are able to fly, making sure people are having fun, and making sure that no one's stepping on someone else's video. With that said, thank you so much for tuning into this setup series. Really appreciate your time. Stay flying.